Yo, this is the OT99 Banter Room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. But we're back again with another show. It's your boy Firms. And it's been a while. It's been a while. So, guys, remember, if you're locked in, if you do tune in, you've got fortunate to watch this live. Just remember to be interactive, join into conversations, leave a comment, and I'll read it out. And we can use that as a basis of discussion. You know what? This is the live preview to Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace at home, Manchester United is away. This is a sticky fixture, bro. A sticky fixture. I'm not looking forward to this. I really ain't looking forward to this because everyone knows our form against Palace is not good. The last time we beat them was in lockdown, 1920 season, I believe it was. Manchester United has not beaten Palace in 5 years. Whole Manchester United, big Manchester United have not beaten them at their ground in 5 years. Let me point of correction, in their ground in 5 years. Look, this is techie. It's not looking good, bro. And I would have been filled with a lot more confidence, like if Manchester United maintained their unbeaten run, against Everton. The performance, not even like maintained the unbeaten run, but the level of performance I say maintains. Like there was a level of maintaining that level of performance. What I saw from Manchester United against Everton, 10-man Everton. They went down in what, the 30th minute or so? 10-man. Mark Gay, or Idris Gay, sorry. He saw what is it, Keane? I don't know, he saw red, slapped him in his face, got the red card, walked down the tunnel. And it was amazing. I was thinking, wow, really and truly that we're going to continue to go on this run. Like Manchester United are going to continue to go unbeaten. 10 men, just like it was against Chelsea, nice and early. We're going to go on and dictate the play, which we did for most of the game. But what happens after that red? We concede a silly goal. Not too long after that, within the first 5-10 minutes of that red card sending off of Gay, we go down a goal. And it was just like a double whammy. And the reason why I say it's a double homicide is because Manchester United are poor against sides that have poor against teams where we have most possession. I think the stats out there, you know it. And I think I brought up some stats before, which let me see if I can even find actually. But there was obviously, if we've got more than 50% worth of stats, then Manchester United is not winning that game. And I think when I looked up some stats previously, and I think Amarim's 80 games in charge. I think they did a review of 80 games in charge, right, for Amarim, yeah? And I think this stat showed that, let me see if I can find it. This stat showed that he was, I think, 4 times more likely to lose a game when he had possession over 50. So, yeah. Here it is. So we finished that Everton game with about 70% possession, right? And I think they've done games played, so 15 games played. So this is of a proportional amount of games, yeah. I think it's 80. But let me just read off the stats, right? So we played 15 games where they've done a measurement on 50 games where we've had less than 50% possession, versus more than 50% possession, 24 games, right? So that's the split. 15, 24. More than 50%, 24. Less than 50% possession, 15 games played, yeah? The wins is 7 wins in the 15 games where we've had less possession. So almost 50%. And more than 50% out of the 24 games, we've only won 5 games. So the draws, we've drawn 5 out of the 15 games. And out of the 24, we've drawn 4 out of the 24 games where we have more than 50% possession. Losses, we've lost 3 games with less than 50% possession. 3 games. With more than 50% possession, Manchester United has lost 15 games. 5 times more games Manchester United has lost with more than 50% possession. Yeah? Points. 26 points out of the 15 games played, and 19 points with more than 50% possession out of the 24 games played. Points per match is 1.73, with less than 50% possession. More than 50% possession is 0.79. Look, you can see from those stats that Manchester United are clearly a team that we shouldn't be holding that ball. And I think it eases into the fact of how Manchester United has been coached under Amarim. You know, he wants to be that guy that gets the ball, transitions pretty early, gets the ball in the net with few touches as possible. Good transition team. Eric Ten Hag wanted to do the same. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a counter-attacking manager as well. Mourinho as well. He defended well, sat part of the boss, and then again the forwards did their thing. Outside of maybe LVG and outside of yeah, I think LVG, and that's probably about it. I think everyone was pretty much on this defensively. Maybe Mourinho of us, I'll say maybe is more of certainly in LVG and Amarim's reign. It's been more about transitions, and where we've got less of the ball, we hit the team on a counter attack, the space in behind, we seize that opportunity. When we've got possession, we don't know what to do with it, and that's what happened with Everton. We had the ball, had so much possession. We had like 60 minutes to try and get a goal back, equalize. At least we couldn't do that. Everton had 10 men behind the ball. Only Beto was in forward, actually. Everyone else was part behind it, well structured, well shaped. Moyes had them patterned in that sense. It was whipping in crosses, falling to no man's land. Keane marshaled it really well. And Tarkowski as well. And Tarkowski showed Xerxes from early about what he's about. Left his impression on Xerxes a bit to let him know, like this is, we're here. And look, it worked. And we couldn't find an answer. And I just don't feel like we've been coached in that sense enough to play through the middle to, if it's not a wonder pass from Bruno, nothing's really going to happen, Not enough people in the box for the crosses. It was terrible, man. And, Manchester United, man, it was a disappointing game. It was bad, man. It was really bad, that game. Going down to 10 men. Manchester United playing at Old Trafford at home. Win a decent game of four, and then we go and lose like that, not even to draw. It was terrible, and look, for me, it's just dented that morale bit as a fan going into this game. And even if we was on a crazy run, looking at Palace, I mean, you look at them, like I said before, we haven't beaten them in their home ground in over 5 years, It's a scary place for us to go. Man. Our defense is not good. Obviously, it's going to be an interesting game because we've got two teams where, we play the same system, same setup in us and Palace, 3 at the back or 5 at the back, some would say, So it's going to be an interesting lineup. Not even lineup. It's going to be an interesting game of tactics to see if anyone changes, if anyone tweaks. Are we going to cancel each other out? Probably doubt it. And but going into this game, obviously we know the news about Cunha, having that head injury. Apparently he was knocked out, passed out. I really wanted him fit for this game. He's not going to be available. This game is the difference is that quality players making games like this, because Palace is a defensive unit. They're a defensive unit, man. Like, they're really compact, really narrow. Munoz, is that his name? Munoz. He's on form right about now. He's high flying, attacking. I mean, if it weren't for his age, man, how old is he now? What, 29? I would say something along those lines. Anyway, he's a guy in his prime for sure. Look, if it wasn't for that, man, I'd be like, Man United, scoop up this guy, man. He's, obviously he'll be competing with Ahmad, but Ahmad going to the AFCON and all of these things. Look, January, all I'm saying is, guys like Munoz, I think there's exceptions, right, for certain players, especially when you're in an area where it's a bit niche and the market isn't that great. Like, there's not many Quendas flying around. You Chelsea, I'll never forgive you for that. I'll never forgive you for that. You stole Quenda from underneath our nose. I am fuming. But there's not many of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many high-flying, young, fullbacks that are attainable. They're out there. That is right wing backs or left wing backs. There's not many that is attainable, you know, within a budget of like 30, 40, 50 mil. I don't think Man United's going to do anything above that unless it's a world class like Mendes. Do you know what I mean? For PSG or Hakimi or something. Manchester United is not gonna try and fork out that type of money. I don't even know if we will have that type of money. Maybe depending on sales. I don't know, because obviously Manchester United in the summer transfer window is going to be focused heavily. I don't know if they're going to do a loan in the winter market, but they're certainly in the summer market. Manchester United's focus is going to be on the midfield. And we've heard all of the talks with Anderson, and we've heard with Wharton and Belieber and Stiller and Gomez and Andre Gomez, you know, and all of these guys. And, you know, Man United could be heavily distracted and focused on trying to bring in 2 midfielders, you know, potentially even 3, depends on who leaves, you know. And yeah, so having that budget to be spending on a top wing back, I don't know if it's even going to be there, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, back to the topic, man. Look, Oliver Glasner, man. And obviously there's history here as well, recent history, because he was one of the names that was linked to us as taken over as Manchester United manager. When Amorim was really underneath the cosh, man, he was one of those guys that was being touted as a potential successor. And obviously the Bournemouth manager as well, Ariola, and and a few other guys, you know, they were touted as being the Manchester United manager. And I was, you know, to be honest, he's one of those names that, you know, his name doesn't ring bells like that. And I've learned that I don't care about any of that stuff, to be honest. He's one of those guys that will come in and I think for sure will show up our defense and get us defending well. And that's something that's a big issue for us. It really is. I mean, like I was talking about Oliver Glasner, man, and his defensive record. If I go into let's see. If I go on to bring up his, let's see, this one. Look at that, bro. Look at that. This guy has not conceded a goal in the month of November. Obviously, we play them, and hopefully we can change that. You know, but against Palace, Brentford, 2-0, clean sheet. Brighton, 0-0, clean sheet. Wolverhampton, that's pretty much more easier to do. Do you know what I mean? Because Wolverhampton, their goal difference and goals scored is just ridiculous. But again, clean sheet. And obviously they're up against us. And Manchester United know how to find the net, but our clean sheet record is terrible. So look, this could easily be one of those games where Palace walk away with a clean sheet. It could easily be one of those games where, and I'm going to go into my match predictions later on, but it could easily be one of those games where Crystal Palace walk away with a clean sheet and Manchester United are just there. You know what I mean? Oh, one sec. Man like Ed's in the chat. Well, go on, Ed. What's good, my bro?
What's good? Am I moving clear? Am I right?
What you say?
Am I clear? Am I okay?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. What you saying, though? How's your week?
Much, missed out last week. Took an annual break from shout out defenders fighting each other, and us still losing.
Bro, I touched on that. Yeah, I touched on that with the guy. It's like, bro, Man United, you know, at home. Like when you think of games like Grimsby, when you think of games like Everton, these are the games that you look at thinking, how is Manchester? Like, do you know what? Yeah, it's games like that, and it could happen turning on. Don't get me wrong, but it's games like that where I'm like, look, if Manchester United, like if you believe in this manager, I know it's early days in the rebuild. The fan base is split. A lot of people don't back him. Some people feel like trust the process, wherever you're at.
Yeah.
For me, it's like it's games like that where if you don't get through it, at least picking up a point or even getting the victory, it should be, but at least picking up a point, you start to question, like, is this guy the right? Like, if you haven't been questioning already, so I'm not talking to the fan base that are saying Amorim is a dud. I'm talking to those fans that still have belief, right? You start to question and say, I don't know, because in this world, yeah, nothing is going to be perfect for you. Like in this footballing world, nothing is going to be perfect. You're not going to have You're not going to have the Leicester City years where everything it was the perfect storm for them to go and win the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have issues with guys getting injured. You're going to have issues where results go against you. You're going to have the VAR now in play where it's like, cancelling goals. And you're going to have all of these things. And you've got to somehow find a way and find a result. Like when we played Arsenal, we dominated in every single metric. We pressed well, our expected goals and everything. That's every sort of metrics that you can think of. Man United bossed it. Was thinking, yeah, Arsenal just said, okay, cool, you can have that, but we're just gonna get our 3 points and leave. And then he was there like, and that's what it means. Like when you're a boss, when you're trying to go for the title, you've got to do what you've got to do to get your 3 points. Not saying Man United is going for the title, but if Man United is going to have any dream of finishing in Europe, and if Amorim is going to have any dream of trying to get us challenging again to that place where we are competing for the league and competing for Champions League one day, it's games like this where you're in-game management. You've got to, you can't leave with not winning anything. But what's your thoughts anyway with Palace? Anyway, I was just getting on to the fact of Manchester United's record against Palace. Look, Manchester United hasn't beaten them in their ground in 5 years. Manchester United.
It's the same case of like when you're looking at records when it came to Tottenham, isn't it? It's either potentially could be, let's be honest, I would say a win, but it could be a draw or a loss because Palace are playing good. Man United just seem all over the place, but it just sees we'll just see our reaction from that game because when you look at playing against 10 men, Chelsea are a great example. When they played Barcelona, they didn't give them no room to like get into the game or even feel comfortable. Despite all the possession we had, Everton still looked dangerous when they were playing against us. So, yeah, we're not clinical enough. We don't control the game enough despite the possession. So it'll be a tough game because because the defense might even struggle to like look after Mateta. So it could either go away. We could win it, or we could like say have a good first half and reduce steam, and then
it's gonna be crazy.
I want to have faith, but Man United, man, just every time I say win, like it's just out of hope. Now I don't know if I say it's more out of despair. So
let me share the let me share what it's looked like with us and Palace.
What time's the game tomorrow? Is it midday our time?
Yes, it's a shake for Palace to be fair. But yeah, here we go. So look, as you can see, I don't know if you can read it clearly, but
yeah. So it looks like we lost to them of recent, right? February 2025.
February 2025. So this is one.
Oh, no, actually, sorry. They lost us. They beat us 4-0, 1-0. So we've only won. We won in the last time we beat them was September 2023, right? And then the other two.
But remember, this is the away. When you're talking about away at home, yeah, it's different, right? We can get a result at home, but away, look at all the away. So this is the last time we won against them, 1920 season. So this is when I think Martial and Rashford went back.
What's the kickoff? 12 o'clock or 12:30?
Rashford there. It's I think it's a 12 o'clock kickoff.
Okay.
I think it's a 12 o'clock kickoff, and that's a check for them, to be honest. So yeah, look, see, yeah, 12 p.m. Because they just obviously played Strasbourg, isn't it? They played on Thursday, and they lost that game 2-1. I don't know about you, Edwin, but I watched that game, yeah, and I was like, what is that keeper on? I don't know if you watched it yet, but that keeper.
No, I didn't watch it.
Absolute, like, he was playing like, Prime Schmeichel, where Schmeichel about the saves. Like, Schmeichel will come out, like, run to the halfway line, do something crazy like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't to that degree, but this goalkeeper, right, he was definitely given instruction to be like a crazy sweeper keeper, i.e., like, you are forming part of the defensive line. Like, you're not the goalkeeper. You're like a centre back. Bro, the amount of times, I think Palace hit the post twice. Is it one from Mateta and one from, can't remember who else, someone else, but hit the post twice. It was an open net. And you know how football is, football being the way it is, they came back and they got the victory, man. It was 2-1 and sent Palace home. So Palace will be wounded from that. They'll probably want some redemption from that. But at the same time, they are they were playing away. They were playing on Thursday,
Yeah.
traveling Europe, traveling back.
Who have you got?
Huh?
Who have you got?
What to win?
Yeah.
Let's start with the lineup first and foremost. What do you think the lineup's gonna look like? Because obviously Xerxes, the last time we played, he got a run out. Um, he got a run out. He started up top, and I think
I
Ahmad
think,
for parts of the
I
game
think
against Everton. Who do you think's gonna?
I think what he'll do, probably go Ahmed back, right wing back. I think he'll do Shaw, Euro, and maybe not maybe in the lit. And I think the lot might play left wing back, you know. I think he might start him there. I don't know if he's convinced with Dogu. Centre will be Casemiro and Bruno. And I think the front three will be I think it's either three back.
Freezing a little bit.
If not, if Ahmed doesn't play right wing back, the front three will be Ahmed, Mbuemo, and Mount. I think. I don't think he'll play Zepsi again.
Yeah.
If not, I think if not, if think he does play right wing back, I think it will be Mount, Zetsky, and Mbuemo.
Yeah, I'm more leaning towards that. So I think the front three is
Yeah.
going to be Mount. Definitely Xerxes, because I haven't seen Amarim play and Boomer as a centre forward yet, or maybe he has, maybe
Yeah.
throughout the middle of the game. But I haven't seen him have like his
I
starting
think he's done it like once before.
where he's starting position and Boomer starting the game as a striker. I don't know. So in my mind, I'm thinking it'll be Xerxes up top because obviously Sesko's injured and Cunha he's not fit. So if Cunha was available, then I'll say Cunha up top. But because
Yeah,
he's not available and Sesko's not available, I'm saying Xerxes because I just ain't seen him start with Boomer up top. Well, I can't remember anyway. And then so it'll be Xerxes, it will be in Bumo, right hand side, it will be Ahmad, right wing back. So it will be Mason Mount on the left and Bumo on the right, Xerxes up top. The midfield picks itself, Casemiro, Bruno. Left wing back, I'm thinking it'll be Dorgu. Right wing back, I'm thinking it will be Ahmad. And then the centre backs will be Delit. It will be Luke Shaw, and the and then I'm thinking the right hand side could be Euro. So keeping it like
yeah,
that, and then obviously the keeper he picks himself Lamont. But it'll be interesting as well because I think on the last game against Everton, just checking back now, um, Martinez was available on the bench. So it'll be interesting to see if Martinez gets any minutes in this game whatsoever.
yeah.
Because we
Is he
need
is he
like,
ready to start playing?
no, I don't think he's ready to start playing, but he's been training for a while. You know what I mean? He's been in full training for some time now. At least a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? So
Okay. Yeah.
it'll be interesting.
We'll see.
It'll be good to see him get a few minutes, even if it's like 15 minutes. It'll be good to see him get a few
Yeah.
minutes.
What's
And
your
then,
prediction?
bro, my prediction for this game is gonna be, bro, I'm not even trying to be. I'm not even trying to be. Man United will do well to get a goal. Put it like that. Uh,
Mm.
let me see. I think I'm going to go. So say our last 5 encounters. Palace
Mm.
2-0. Away it was 0-0. And away again we got lost 4-0. Then at home 1-0. Then 3-0 at home we won. 2-1 at home. Where's the away ones? 1-1. Uh, 0. So there's a couple of draws. 0-0, 1-1 when we're away. And then we lose 1-0. I think this game has the potential to be. I don't think we're keeping a clean sheet. So I think it could
Mm.
potentially be
Like two, like a 3-2, 3-1 game.
because their defense is so good. I would. My answer is it? I think it could be a 2-1 or 1-0 Palace.
Okay.
If I have to choose between one of them, I'm going to say is a 2-1 to Palace.
Okay. That's a good try.
2-1 to Palace, but it's a crap one though, isn't it? Because it means that we take another L.
Yeah, but typical Man U, man. It is what it is.
Because we've got the opportunity if we win this game to jump into like, because there's only one, bro, table's so tight, of course, but we can
Yeah.
jump into the top 5 region depending on the results of other games. Like Palace is on 20 points, we're
Yeah.
on 18. We can get into the top 5, top 6 by winning this game, man. You know what I mean? So look,
Yeah.
for me, I think it's imperative that we go about trying to do what we can do to get this,
Mm-hmm.
to get something from this game. You know what I mean? I'll take a draw as well, but hopefully, I hope Man United are not thinking like that, and hopefully they go and get a W. Hopefully we get a W, man. But yeah, man. Look, we need a lot. This is gonna also be an audition, Ed, for Wharton.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then
see.
yeah, because Wharton, you know, obviously he's been heavily linked with Manchester United.
Do
And
you like him as a signing though, compared to the other options?
I think he's a he's a dictator of the ball, isn't he? So
Yeah.
obviously you've got, I respect Scholes' opinion as well, obviously, because Scholes is saying, Scholes was asked the question like if he had a choice, who would he choose? He said, yeah, often said Belieber, Wharton, or Anderson, and he said Wharton. Because maybe
The water.
Wharton, yeah, he said Wharton. Maybe Wharton was because Scholes can appreciate the attributes more of what Wharton brings than what Anderson
Yeah.
brings. Anderson is a number 8, dynamic back and forth, all guns blazing type, can do everything. Belieber is just more dynamic and defensive, more physical attributes stand out than anything. And with Wharton, it's less about the physical stuff and it's more about his ability to dictate the tempo, his ability to like his passing range, pass forward, and all of those things like that. So for me, I hear it. I just need to, it's going to be a cameo in it so we can watch him and we can discuss what he was like, So we've seen
Yeah.
Anderson's
No,
audition
you're
against
right.
Man United. Anderson had a good audition against Man United. Belieber didn't have a good audition against Man United. Let's see
Yeah.
what Wharton does. You know what I mean? Because yeah, it could make a big difference in terms of who our number 1 targets are, in the summer. So yeah, it should be interesting, bro.
Definitely, man.
Oh man, but look, we
Yeah.
move, but
We'll,
we've done
yeah.
already. We
Well,
move,
we'll
we move
just tune in
forward,
tomorrow.
100%.
Say our prayers,
Big
and we'll
10.
see. We'll see what will happen, man. We'll see what happens.
The praise. Look, guys, man, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, man. Let us know your thoughts, man. What's your match predictions? If you come out of a win, a lose, a draw, let us know your thoughts, man. And look, let us know who you're. Yeah, just join us, man. In the next video after the game, man. We'll be here. Lock in. Remember to turn on your notification bells if you're subscribed. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, man. Likes as well. They drive up the algorithm. You know how it goes. So, guys, remember to do that, man. And we'll catch you soon in the next one. But until then, peace.
Peace.